So this is March 26th, 11:20 a.m., our third Belaire manager meeting. The other two have been posted to Zoom, and YouTube. I'll continue to post them. So the first was a kickoff just to kind of deal with how do we fill in the void of Marina, which hats off to the both of you. You've been doing it. The last meeting, I'll just review real quick. We reviewed the scoreboard Wednesday. Stacy is driving the bus on that. The rental increase, still on my list. I need to do that. I need to create a rental scoreboard. Security deposit scoreboard driven by Tyann. 14/30 day notice. Scoreboard still needs to be done. And it says vacancy scoreboard driven by Tyann, but I think that should read Stacy.
The vacancy scoreboard, yeah.
Both of us?
Me too.
You can't have three people driving a bus.
Well, I put my information like coming up vacancy coming up. If somebody give us notification and stuff like that, then I put it as a coming up.
Okay, so Tyann and HyunJu can be contributors. Stacy, you own the bus. So when things get rented, because when people pay the 3 deposits, do the utilities, get their insurance, and then after they're moved in, you put it into a tab. You own that.
Yeah, and also the maintenance guys, when they see it, they schedule for the move out inspection. They put the notes, and they also put the notes for moving inspection and all that on the scoreboard.
So to define, everyone else is a contributor.
Yeah.
Stacy owns the sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get through this and then we'll open it up for whoever's got stuff. The guest card operation, again, we're doing the bulk text. We're doing the bulk email, and I'll ask about that in a minute. Screening in the rent income ratio. And then Stacy jumps in. Someone fills out a rental application. If they pass the rental income ratio, then Stacy will engage one-on-one. And then we introduced some of the AppFolio sorting rental application features. I don't think Stacy knew about that. Probably Tyann, you don't know about that either. But again, this is kind of Stacy's realm for the rental applications. And then once they're all packaged up, when we have someone who checks off all the boxes, Tyann and Stacy are working together. Security deposit. The account has been funded. I've got a couple more questions for Katrina. It's on one account level, I can see the money has gone in. On the other account, I can't see that it's in. So I've got a few more questions on that. But the good news is we do have an escrow account set up. It has been funded. It's being funded $2,500 a day up to the first 13,000. And then I've got the hot list of who needs to have their security deposits funded. So that's happening. The last topic from last week's meeting was reviewing some of the features for move-ins, move-outs. Stacy and HyunJu are working on that because as people move in, I think HyunJu needs to finish the move-in process because as I go to list an apartment, if the move-in has never been completed, I can't list it. AppFolio says there's a pending move-in. And then Stacy learned that you can assign a status to a rental application, approved, good, not good. And hopefully, if we have approved rental applications, then Stacy can just transfer that info to Tyann to book showings. So that's kind of where we are. That's what we've reviewed up to date. I don't think there's much to review on the scoreboard. I need to create the rental increase and the notices. HyunJu's going to have some for me today, so I'm lagging here to just get caught up and not drowned. As I complete these, I'll give them to Tyann, whose boots on the ground in the closest U.S. Massachusetts mailbox is you. So guest cards. I'm going to open it up to Stacy here. And actually, before we do that, you know what? No, let's give you guys the time you need. So triumphs, trials, tribulations. How are guest cards working for you, Stacy? Explain to us what you do. How does it work? What could be better?
So for the guest cards, they are already getting an automated email. Now, what I've been trying to work on is the texting part because I feel like they are a little better at responding to text than email. And I see that they open the email, but they just don't really do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been working on. I've been in communication with AppFolio, but it really hasn't been too helpful. So my two challenges are, or my tasks are, figuring out the most efficient way to text. And then also I'm still not able to like figure out how to group the applications. I know we had discussed that last week, like the chart, Tyann, I don't know if you see that on your dashboard, but there's like a circle chart, a pie chart where you can see the status, but I can't figure out how to change that status.
Okay.
All right, you keep going, and I'm going to see if I can figure that out here. I'll get into AppFolio. So actually, one came in today for 22 Highland. That looked pretty good. I looked at their income. It was a healthcare worker, something like that. So let me get under rental applications. Because without... I'm going to click him as approved, but that doesn't mean he's approved. Okay, so it was 22 Highland. And what I've done is I've gone under the leasing tab in AppFolio to rental applications. And then there's a filter up top where I've done 22, 24 Highland. Michael N. Adio. He's the only one in there. So his status right now is decision pending. I'm going to click on his rental application. And then right up at the top under Michael N. Adu is edit. And if I click edit, I believe one of these boxes here will allow me. Okay, I'm not seeing it in this one, so I'll hit cancel. Okay, under applicant summary where it says status, decision pending.
Applicant status. Hold on. Where's applicant?
If I click edit, you can change decision pending to approved, denied, or canceled.
Where's applicant status?
Summary, applicant summary.
Right below that tab we're just in.
And what are you editing?
Okay, I'm gonna, oh crap.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Did you find it?
Yes.
Okay. So that's where you can do what you gotta do. I clicked something I shouldn't have clicked. So I'm going to cancel. Stacy, I'll have you do it. I mean, just for him right now, you can say approved.
Okay.
And after you do that, I'll refresh the page. Are you seeing that as well, Tyann?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now he says approved. So if I go back to the dashboard, I will see a little green sliver of approved.
One approved.
This is not funny. So everyone sees the dashboard rental applications approved?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a fire drill right now, but let's say at the end of the day or whatever, Stacy's gone through and she's put all these rental applications in the boxes. Tyann, your mission, should you choose to accept it, this tape will destroy itself in 15 seconds. When you see green sliver of rental applications, that means Stacy has put those in the box and they're good for showings.
Okay.
Questions?
Yes.
Go.
Tyann, do you think that is more helpful, or using the scoreboard where I put their names and then you know who to schedule? I maybe just because I'm not familiar with this, I feel like this is just an extra step and thing for us to check.
Yeah, I like the scoreboard
Okay, so
because it has the names on it and everything. So
the Google Sheet scoreboard will be where you will schedule the showings. That's you two working together. That's going to be the format where you're going to make that decision, correct?
Yes.
Okay. For tracking in AppFolio, Stacy, if you have to go in there anyways to look at their rental application, I still want you to put that application in the right box, because I will use this information with a landlord, because now I can say, hey, we've had 96 pending, 3 new, 2 approved. So I can have that conversation with a landlord using the AppFolio dashboard.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I think that's a system that works. What in this system is not working?
on the vacancy scoreboard, the picture on 113 Spruce Street, that's Fairmont, or that's not Fairmont. Yeah, it is Fairmont. Same with 189 Pearl Street. That's Forest Street. I mean, it doesn't matter because I know what they look like, but just putting it out there.
Okay, do you know how to change those?
No.
Okay. Let me type in vacancy scoreboard. So give me one that's wrong.
189 Pearl Street.
Yeah, that looks like
That's Forest Street.
yeah, Forest Street. Okay. So that graphic, okay, here's where it gets a little squirrely. If I go to the Belaire page to get to the listings, right? So Belaire.appfolio listing. And which one are we looking for? 189. Okay. Okay, so I'm on the listings page. No, I don't want my note taker. Go away. I'm on the listings page, and I see a picture of the kitchen stove next to the butcher block, and the sink is over there. So if I right click, copy image address, and we can do this later as well, but now I'm going to go into the vacancy scoreboard. I've copied that image address from the AppFolio listings page. No, honey. I believe it's insert link. I hate that I'm using our valuable time, but let me do it again here. We're going to try it a different way. Copy image, and then go into the vacancy scoreboard. Paste. Okay. So now that should be updated on your end. So
Yeah.
if you're taking notes, right, if you go on to belaire.appfolio.listings where you can see all those, you can right click on a picture, copy image, and then into the data cell where the picture is on the vacancy scoreboard, paste. And then you'll have that picture there.
Okay.
And I know that this is internal, but if while you're in there and doing stuff, it took me longer to figure out how to do it than to actually do it. Okay, other issues, other hurdles that we can solve. And the good news is this was being recorded, so if you're not sure how to do that, you can always come back into this recording later. Okay? Any other, I think we've looked at everything on the vacancy scoreboard. Any other, I don't drive this every day, so I gotta rely on you guys. What else do you see that's working or not working? I just looked up at the top. It says Vacancy Scoreboard version 6.0. We've come a long way. So do you realize that this scoreboard has actually replaced Marina's functionality? So there's a question. Marina is gone, right? We've got this covered without her, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now the next question is, there's two parts to this question. Maria was helping me on the podcast, video editing, and a lot of other marketing stuff, which has now gone away because she's spending 10 hours a week doing guest cards. Do we need Maria 10 hours a week on guest cards? Stacy's shaking her head no.
She works only Saturday and Sunday. Do you feel that's necessary?
No.
Beautiful.
Okay. Because what I'd love to do is put her back on my marketing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I'm happy about on many points because now that will be getting done again. And like when Elon Musk takes over a company, he disassembles the whole thing into each operating piece, eliminates everything that he doesn't need, then puts it back together as a tighter unit and focuses on those to make them better, which is, I think, what we have done. So kudos to the team. You guys, you've eliminated 2 unnecessary hands in the kitchen to make this work tighter. So at the point where Stacy says, okay, we got a green light, we need these people, what is the policy, what's the procedure to put it into Tyann's hands? How do you do it?
How do we schedule showings?
How do you let Tyann know she's got to do a showing?
We have a chat room. I'll give her a list, or she'll tell me her schedule for the week. We'll schedule it, and it goes right on the scoreboard. I don't know if she's been adding notes after the showings, but I think it's been pretty efficient.
All right, perfect. So Tyann, you have full flexibility. If you get sucked up on a weekend and you need a comp time or a day during the week, you're flexible. You're autonomous. You figure out your schedule, which works best for you. I don't care if it's at midnight that you have to do something. If that's when it works for you, fine. As long as all the boxes are getting checked and everything's running smoothly. And if you want to work 3 24-hour days without sleep and everything's getting done, so you have a long weekend, I don't care. I'm happy. Same thing for you, Stacy. You're autonomous. You control your own schedule. You control your own time. I'm not a helicopter mom here saying, hey, it's 8 o'clock. I don't care if it's 8 o'clock. If you need a Wednesday off or a Tuesday off or whatever it is, as long as you guys are working together and, delegating and collaborating and showings are happening, I'm happy.
So I have a question. Since Marina has been gone like more than a month now,
Yeah, really.
since she's been gone, do you think we had any interruption to going through guest cards and application and showing and renting it out, or what? How do you feel?
It's been pretty smooth for me.
Stace?
Yeah.
I think it's been quicker because,
Beautiful.
the 30 hours a week of doing text communications on guest cards, I feel has slowed down the process to drive rental applications. So by eliminating a whole big chunk of that process to now it's like the bulk text, the bulk email. And when you get into the rental applications where you're more one-on-one, it's chasing a cat at that point. You don't know where the conversation's going to go. So if you've got your goals and objectives clear on what that is, like we need 3 deposits, we need insurance, we need utilities. So if those are the points that you need to drive to get them in, everything can be, yeah, I'd love to help you get there, but this is what I need to get you there. How can you get that done? And you're asking the candidate, how can you get the deposits? You've got like 3 days. And are you putting deadlines on anything when you talk to a candidate?
Yes.
And
Huh?
what are they?
So the deadline that I've been trying to implement is payments. So I'm making it very clear because a lot of people like to pay like the day before they move in on AppFolio, and I'm like, you can't do that because it takes 3 to 5 business days for the funds to clear. We can't keys until the money has been cleared. So they know to pay on Cash App. I like to say that money is due a week after. You have 7 days after you've been approved to make the payment. Sometimes people can't really come up with the remaining 2 deposits in a week. So I try to be a little flexible, but they know that the money is going to be due like at least a week before we can release the keys, just so we make sure the money's clear, everything's good. Consent forms, they've been pretty quick at getting in. If there's any delay, it's just because the references are a little bit slower to get back. But I think we're pretty good at following up with them.
Okay. So for the 3 deposits, until we have all 3 deposits, in my world, I consider that unit is still up for grabs, first come, first serve with 3 deposits. So even though, like, I know that we got a deposit on Walker Street, oh God, please, I hope I mean, how's Walker Street, how's the person who put down the deposit? How do they look?
They look okay. My only concern is they don't have housing history just because they've been living with family, but they've been honest about their credit, their income, it's at like a 3.4. They're very interested in moving forward. There's nothing on Massports. I've been going through that website. I've like looked at their Facebook, their Instagram. They're clean. So hopefully.
What's the hurdle to get them in? What's the next step to get them in?
We hear back from one more work reference. And then I don't know if they've been screened through like another property management company, but they sent in a copy of their, the AppFolio poll, the poll that AppFolio does. So they've already emailed that in. One of them has like one account for like $80.
Okay.
Another one, it's like $200. So I'm not too concerned. I did ask for an explanation regarding those accounts, but I think things are looking hopeful.
Is there anything you see in their dossier right now that you would say you're not going to rent to them?
No.
Okay. Let's do it. Now, I know there were other people in line who may or may not have wanted Walker Street. Well, good news. By Monday, we've got not Lum Shrey, but the other one, Moy Eng, is supposed to be moving out.
Yeah.
So anybody else who is interested, if this candidate that put down the deposit, I'd love to move forward. If no one has any objections, let's do it and get them in there. And then anybody else who was a second choice, say, hey, good news, we've got another unit in that same building. I don't know how many bedrooms it is. I think it was 2 bedrooms. I don't know. So yeah, we don't have that ready yet, but we can definitely let them know there's more availability. Okay.
I mean, the biggest concern, and we've already communicated this to the landlord multiple times, it's just the funky layout. Like there's no living room. I don't know what Moy's unit looks like, but if hers is a typical 1-bed, 1-bath, I don't assume it would be difficult to rent out. I think that's just the only reason why it took so long to rent out number 3.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that number 3 was 2 separate units that they combined together. They were not legal units. Those were called out on the fire inspection report for the smoke detectors. So they kind of glued that one together to be 1 unit. If it's rented and we've got somebody happy.
So they want to move in the April 11th, right?
That's what their application said. Yeah, I mean, they live with family, so no holdup other than like putting the deposits down and doing the utilities and all of that.
Okay, I'd say let's do it. Let's keep Matt happy. Not really sure what else we need to cover. I can pull Maria back into marketing. You guys are fine.
That was the main thing. You're
Yeah,
issue.
I'm the bottleneck right now because I owe you guys additional scoreboards. So I've been picking up the slack on Marina for the traffic reports, the rentometer reports, the trailing 12s. So every time you see an email coming out from Marina, that's me doing Marina's job.
And 14-day notice
And the 14-day notices
Rent
and the
increase.
rental increases. So I've kind of picked up the slack on that. I'm actually hoping while we're traveling to kind of be a ghost to the day-to-day stuff, so I can just put on blinders and get into AppFolio and start figuring out some of these templates. Probably the two hottest templates for me is in every version of the leases in AppFolio. I need to put in the statement of condition form, because we don't do that and we take a security deposit, and the statement of lead in each unit. So if I think it, I have to figure out how to do the lead one into the lease, because we either know there's lead or don't know there's lead. I would probably do the default as we have no lead report. Downtown Pittsburgh.
I love it.
Yep, I'll be there soon. So I'm the bottleneck there. The statement of condition is a lot easier because in Massachusetts, I can put in the language that if you have not approved your statement of condition within 2 weeks, we assume that everything was fine. And I can add an additional sentence there that within the first 2 weeks, open up any work orders for the statement of condition, and those will be recorded as part of your statement of condition. After 2 weeks, done. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's my lowest hanging fruit, and I think it'll give us one of the greatest benefits. Just so you all know, one of the features in Northern Bank for the escrow account, this is super cool. Once we set up, well, the escrow account is set up, and then we can do sub-escrow accounts. When we open up a sub-escrow account for the security deposit, it's built in their format, in their architecture, that if we don't have the W-9, we can send it to them right through the escrow account. They can do a DocuSign. As soon as they DocuSign, we have a W-9 on file in their escrow account. Perfect. So as we start to play with that and populate it, we may find there's other bells and whistles in there. But right now, my biggest concern is to just get that done. And I really wish we weren't doing laundry during this meeting, because that's going to come up. You guys can hear that, right? Well, hopefully it doesn't get on the recording, but we'll see. Is there anything else we need to cover? Okay, you're my lead managers. What are your biggest challenges as managers? Tyann, I'll let you go first.
I don't really have many challenges, to be honest. Nothing crazy.
What, I'm crazy?
I mean, no, no. No, I don't have anything like that's driving me crazy or anything. So.
Okay. Well, all right. Stacy, what are your biggest challenges as a manager?
I mean, I guess just the units that have not been rented for a while. That kind of keeps. But Walker is looking hopeful.
Okay.
I guess one thing that I need to remember now is to change that status on the rental applications. So I will add that to my checklist. I mean, nothing really. I mean, I think we're all communicating well. My Mike and Hank and Peter are super on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like we the lock, the keys, the move-ins, like the inspections. I think everything's running very smoothly.
So
I don't.
another benefit of tagging the rental application, if there's like someone, there's no way we would rent to them, if their application comes back in, you'll see in the notes on that application that at one point in time you denied them. So you'll see the history if they apply and apply and apply. Same thing with a guest card, because if in the guest cards, if we put DNA, which means do not answer, those will show up.
Did you see who applied yesterday?
To Corey Kelly,
Yeah.
Can you believe?
did you redline that one as denied immediately?
Can you believe?
Isn't it all? Everyone kind of knows who Takori is.
Yeah, but even still, tag it as red, right? Because then that helps me as a manager of my managers to say, okay, so how's the business doing? We're getting rental applications in. Right now I see one generic box, but if I can see, okay, I can kind of get an idea of what our KPA, key performance indicators, KPIs, what's our percentage of good applications, bad applications. It helps me as a manager of managers to see what's going on. So here we are. This is a managers meeting, so I'm going to discuss something that is only for managers. We have been tracking Peter's ratios, and everybody knows, or at least the maintenance guys know, we charge $75 an hour. They get paid out of that, plus their workman's comp and taxes and all the other stuff. Our target is $45 an hour on margins for Peter, and it's a little bit less with Mike and Hank because they get paid more. So I think it's more like $36 an hour or $38 an hour for Mike and Hank. So in a perfect world, if everyone was at the same rate and it was 38, those margins pay your salaries. And now we don't have Maria and Marina, so there's a little bit of breathing room there. But Pete has not been hitting his numbers to the point where Hank and Mike have been paying Pete's salary as well. So it's been hurting our numbers. Friday, is it Friday or Monday?
Friday.
Tyann, you and I are going to sit down with Pete?
Yeah.
Right, and I want Tyann there because Pete tends to think when I'm not there that the cat is away and he can do whatever he wants. I want Tyann to be wearing my cat stripes from now on in the office, that you can't pull this stuff in front of Tyann either. So Tyann and I are going to sit down in front of Pete and say, look, and I even did payroll yesterday and sent it out, and Pete has gotten better, but he's still not hitting his numbers. So we're still having Mike and Pete carry Hank. I also have a candidate. We look at candidates all the time. Tyann and I are going to interview a new guy on Wednesday. His first strike against him is that he smokes. And I saw that look. So, I mean, I told him that would be a deal breaker for me. If the rest of my team says no, then we're not going to hire him. My plan is, if he comes in and he looks halfway decent, he's been doing property management maintenance for 18 years. So that part's good. What I'd like to do is say, look, we're going to give you a month trial period. And each week I want him to ride with one of the three guys. And then I want to have a review. And if the guys are telling me, yeah, he's a good worker, but every 15 minutes he's got to go outside and have a cigarette, I don't want him.
Yep.
Okay? So if we were hitting our numbers the way we're supposed to be hitting our numbers, I'd be able to breathe a lot easier. So that's kind of sharing with my managers what's going on at a higher level in Belaire. I think that's what I've got.
Sounds good.
Format of these meetings working for everybody?
Mhm.
Okay, because, all right, we'll just keep doing this then. I'll publish this. These are private links. I mean, if you have the link, you can watch it. And, you know, everything I said to Pete is stuff that I've said to Pete personally anyways. So it's not news, but I think Pete kind of knows he needs to toe the line or he won't be with us much longer.
And also, I think we can discuss during this meeting. We can discuss any case, any tenants, problem tenants, or something like that, leasing issues or moving out issues or something like that from next week. I didn't prepare. I think I have few, but you know, we can discuss all together and yeah. So if you have any tenants you are not sure or if, you know, so then we can discuss.
Okay, that's all I've got. If nobody else has anything else, it is noontime on March 26th. We are 47 minutes, 23 seconds in. I'll stop this. I will process it. I'll get it on YouTube. And then I've got my list of stuff I got to get done before I jump on a plane tomorrow. Anybody else need me for anything else outside of the managers meeting while we're here?
How is the weather? Massachusetts, what's the temperature?
Yeah, that's important.
It's like 40.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
we are arriving evening hours, so yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
All right, we'll keep doing this once a week until you guys tell me twice a week is okay. I mean,
Every other week.
every other week. Every other week.
Twice? I thought you
Yeah.
were joking.
No, not twice a week. Twice a month. Does that work?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, everybody. I will
See you
I'll see
soon.
all of you soon.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.